Today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Okay, fellas, listen up. We're going to run a 10-9 slant on 2. Ready?
Man, it's hot out here. I sure could use a cheer one.
This isn't the time for that, Baker.
That perfect fizz with just the right cherry kick?
Come on, we got to focus here.
He's right. Nobody does cherry like cheerwine.
I like mine with tiny ice. Love tiny ice.
Cheerwine goes great with barbecue, too.
Listen, we win and I'll buy you guys all the cheer wine you can drink. Deal?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right.
Try the uniquely refreshing cherry flavor of the South. Cheerwine and Diet Cheerwine. Uniquely Southern.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. At Dixie Digital, we go beyond copiers. We offer complete solutions to help your business thrive, including IT services, secure cloud solutions, and productivity-enhancing printers. With Xerox, Brother, and Epson cutting-edge technology, we ensure you have everything you need to succeed. Call us at 783-6600 to discover our latest technology and services. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. A high this afternoon will be right around the mid-90s with a very slight chance of a shower or storm across the south. Tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy, low 70s, and then a few isolated showers or storms on Saturday. A high will be into the mid-90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KER. Watches it get out of here. Gackle sets a deal. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
All right, made it to Friday as our very long off-season continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Welcome into halftime at 11:01 in the morning. Friday, thank goodness. Happy Friday to you, Matt Jones and Christian Johnson in our studios. College football returns next week, Saturday, but we're starting to get news coming out now. Well, we knew the Michigan penalties would be announced today. Probably heard it earlier on the morning rush. Matt, I guess it might actually pay to cheat. I'm not sure if anybody that's actually there at Michigan outside of Sharon Moore is really dealing with any penalties here. Looks like, according to the news, Michigan will be forfeiting 2 years' worth of postseason-related revenue, which is generally expected to be upwards around of $20 million. There'll be a $50,000 fine, 10% of the football program budget, reduction in official visits, prohibition on communications for recruiting, show causes for Connor Stallions, Jim Harbaugh, Denard Robinson, 2-year show cause for Sharon Moore, which really just means they're lopping on one more game to the suspension that Michigan already self-imposed to Moore. That won't even take place this year. That will be next season. And they don't have to give up the championship either. So NCAA's got a press conference in about an hour, I guess, to explain all of this, Matt. Does it pay to cheat? Feels like it might.
So they're not eligible for the playoff 12 for the next 2 seasons? Is that what you're telling me?
That's not what it's saying.
Uh-oh.
What it is saying is
So
that they have to
eligible.
forfeit the money from the postseason. Yeah, and essentially the NCAA said that there were the sort of violations that took place that Michigan even admitted to should be grounds for a postseason ban, but they did not want to penalize the current players, who I guess they feel weren't part of it at all. So, and the other thing too is the NCAA can't do anything about the championship from 2023 because it's not an NCAA championship. I guess they can vacate wins, but we know that really doesn't do anything. So, what was that, 2 years ago? I know Stallions was booted out of the program before, I think about halfway or a little less than halfway through the 2023 season. How do you view that championship, Matt? Because, Stallions wasn't part of the staff from what I remember from the back half of that season. And, Michigan just, they have 13, 14 players from that championship team drafted into the NFL. That was a great football team. I'm not sure if do you view the championship as tainted? Let me just put it in those terms. Do you view that as a tainted championship? Much of the same way that I think a lot of people do 2017 Houston Astros.
But that was the most talented team. What do you think when you think of Spygate and all the allegations that went on with the Patriots and their championships about film and practice? Do people still think that Houston in 27, they were cheating there? Lance Armstrong was cheating Tour de France, saying everybody's doing it. It's such a high school kid thing to say.
Yeah.
But Michigan was the best team. I don't know if they had to cheat to win that year. And the whole time it was going on, I think we were all kind of laughing like nothing's going to happen to them. So I don't know. To say, well, we don't want to punish the players. What are you talking about? Every single player can transfer and go somewhere else anytime they want to. So they got a lot of money. I don't think anybody it doesn't even feel like a slap on the wrist, honestly. It's just like, well, we have to do something. But I don't know. It's really
it's not a slap on the wrist. It's putting a finger in front of their face and being very stern.
I'm going to count to 3. Okay. 1, 2. Don't
make me stop this car.
Exactly. I'll turn this car right around. It doesn't even feel like they don't really care.
Here's the thing: is if you think of some of the largesse of the Michigan alumni base, how many people with the Michigan alumni base have the sort of resources where they could say, that $20 million that you're going to have to forfeit from the next 2 years, here you go.
They already got it.
There you
go.
Just take it. What's our guy Portnoy from Barstool? I mean, he's already basically
he said that he was going to give him $8 million a year for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's for one player.
That's for one guy. You're right. For maybe 4 years. So not even 4 years, of course, probably 2 or 3 years. So $20 million, that is not even a slap on the wrist. That's not even threatening to hit anybody. That's not even sticking a finger into somebody's face. That's basically saying, well, you did this, you admitted to this. There's really not much else we can do about it right now, so we're going to step out of the way. Congratulations. And then there are penalties to the people that were involved in this, that actually did the cheating, or at least orchestrated it. Stallions and 8. It's like anybody's ever going to hire him. Didn't he get fired from his job as a defensive coordinator for a high school team?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't I remember that from a year or something ago? 8 years show cause. So there goes his college career. Harbaugh, who, skips out right after the national championship, knowing full well what's about to happen. 10-year show cause. So that's at the the funny thing is it's at the conclusion of the current 4-year show cause from a previous case. So that's 14 years of show causes for Jim Harbaugh. The NCAA basically comes out and says, Matt, that Michigan ran a bandit-style program that looked at rules and said, you know what, these things we're not beholden to these rules. It wasn't even just this. There were recruiting violations from during the COVID period. You remember that they also lied about. It's, you know what it seems, and I'm not sure about what the current administration at Michigan is like or the makeup of the staff under Sharon Moore, but under Jim Harbaugh, you could basically do anything you wanted, just about anything you wanted, and get away with it is what it comes down to, you know? So, I mean, the idea, though, of not trying to punish the current players, and you make a really good point, too, about they can transfer out whenever they wanted to. If you really wanted to hurt a program, you do ban them from the postseason. And that whether essentially what that does, Matt, is I guess that forces these kids
to resets it. Yeah.
It also does. I mean, it changes those athletes' lives in where they thought they were going isn't necessarily going to be the same place. It's the same place, but they don't have the same opportunities, to play for a championship or to make it to a postseason game or anything. And I wonder, how do you recruit guys to come back and play in that? I guess that wouldn't be anything you'd have to worry about with the NCAA. It'd be the thing Michigan has to worry about. I guess a postseason ban would almost be, for a program like Michigan, Matt, about as close as you could get to the death penalty. Because if you're not going to play for the post, if you're not playing for a championship at Michigan, what are you playing for?
They, think about when Sammy Sosa had the fungo bat out there how many times did he take that bat, the corked bat out there to hit with? Do we have to? I'm sure somebody probably looked and could tell, but I mean, it goes on. It goes on. Deflategate, Spygate. The Patriots are littered with cheating scandal after cheating scandal for their years there, and I don't think anybody thinks too much about. I think in 10 years, Phil, if we're still doing this show, it'd be pretty cool. What do you think people will say about the Michigan championship? Do you think they'll say, "Oh yeah, but remember"? I don't think so at all. I think they'll just be like, Michigan was the best team that year and they won it.
I think you're right, and I think that's probably exactly where people go to it even right now, and it's because you can look at the team that they had, and it's the same idea as like the cheating scandal for the Astros. That, as I understand, if I remember correctly, was strictly none of that happened in the World Series. If it happened in the Championship Series, that was when Altuve came home and wouldn't let them rip the jersey off. So some of that might have been going on during the postseason too, and in this case, what did Stallions do in 2023 to actually help them win that national championship, right? Or was it just an overly talented team that just could run roughshod over everybody? And that's really where I go with it. I don't know if I look at that necessarily for the Astros in 2017, because everybody's on a more level playing field playing in the major leagues. You play in college football, it is not as much of a level playing field, and Michigan just was that much better than most of the teams that they played outside of maybe Ohio State, Penn State, though they blew out Penn State in that season. But you're right. 30 years from now, this will be a footnote. It'll be another 30 for 30, like the Pony Express scandal, which is the biggest one really to ever see, outside of what happened at Penn State, the death of a program at SMU. And just now they're just kind of getting back into major college football once again. And it turns into a footnote, like a history note, a start over. Can you even imagine the idea of starting over for a program like Michigan football? I guess this would have been a chance to pull it off. Friday on a half. Happy Friday to you, Matt. Christian, so excited for this weekend. It's our last weekend without college football. Banana Ball weekend at Baum Walker. Soccer got underway. Tough loss to Iowa yesterday, so the athletic calendar is underway. So I guess we've made it to the end of our long national nightmare without any college sports, right? Soccer is the thing that's going to fill the void, at least for the next couple of weeks. Halftime on a Friday will be Neil Atkinson, Bet Sarah's in 115. Aaron Torres, as long as he answers the phone in the upcoming segment. And lots of time for calls and texts. Lewis Automotive Hotline open today, 877-377-6963. Plus a Fish City Grill trivia question later on. $25 gift card to Fish City Grill for whomever it is that answers the question correctly. All right, we dial up Aaron Torres right after this break on Halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called. Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choice is the ultimate luxury, and now it's yours with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 Classic Box, loaded with lavish classics, the $7 Supreme Box, packed with decadent faves, or the $9 Discovery Box, now featuring the indulgent cheesy street chalupas. That's Lux. For less. The $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Summer's nipping on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS, and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with...
He ain't afraid of no work.
Picture this. It's lunchtime or dinner time, whatever. It's time to eat Taco Bell time. Time to choose which Lux Cravings box you'll get. Iconic staples for $5, abundance of faves for $7, or maybe something new. The lavish $9 Discovery box with crispy, cheesy street chalupas. And now it's time to indulge. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Hey, you know...
I give, but I don't get. I will, but I won't get. I lose, but I don't bet. I'm your dog, but not your pet.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, I don't know the situation with Aaron. Maybe he's shopping for plants, walking around on the highway somewhere, but couldn't get a hold of him. So we'll move on. How about I'm not going to do the whole show on this Michigan thing, but NCAA report, Matt, outlining Stallions. Remember that game where he was in disguise on the sideline at Central Michigan in 2023 for their opener against Michigan State? This is from the NCAA report, quote, Stallions attended that game in part to decipher Michigan State signals, but also to help a Central Michigan staff member with play calling, unquote. So here you got a member of another team's staff from inside the state who's not part of the Central Michigan staff. Not only is he on the Central Michigan sideline stealing signs from the opponent, but he's helping Central Michigan's guys with play calling. So some of this stuff just gets a little better with each little detail that pops out. And then you wonder, the Central Michigan, who is this guy on the sideline? You ever see anybody on this? I go on a football game, there's a lot of people on a sideline, and you're focused on your teammates and your position coaches and the game itself. But you ever look around at a sideline and wonder, who the heck is this guy, and what is he doing here?
Oh, I didn't know anybody. I mean, there's a lot of some former players you might recognize or something, but a lot of times it might be a donor or a booster or somebody that's out, you don't know. A lot of times it might be before the game actually starts. When you're warming up, you'll see kind of, recruits and all sorts of different people on there. But once the game gets going, I don't really remember being a whole lot of people kind of on the sideline that weren't involved with the team, so to speak.
Another quote from this NCAA report, the true scope and scale of this scheme, including the competitive advantage it conferred, will never be known due to individuals' intentional destruction and withholding of materials and information, unquote. So that's talking about the deleted texts from Sharon Moore, and that's why Moore ends up with this 3-game suspension, which is passed off into 2 seasons. He'll miss 2 games this year, 1 lower-level opponent, and they won't coach against Nebraska, and then whatever it is next year. But then I'm also reading, Stallions threw his phone shattered it in a million pieces and threw it in the river so that they never could find anything about it.
It's the Tom Brady rule.
Yeah, that's exactly
Get
right.
a new phone every 6 months. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing you can do about it. In Moore's, so why did Sharon Moore keep the phone then? He still had other text chains that he needed to make sure were not deleted. Please don't throw my phone in the river. Except that one little text chain right there that might show the NCAA where we got some unnecessary or some advantages. Then the other aspect is, did they really even need those advantages too?
What makes you think who else is doing it?
Right.
You think they're the only one, or they're just the one that got caught?
Well, I don't think they're the only one, but I don't think that...
Because that was Lance Armstrong's deal. He was like, everybody's doing it. I was just doing it better than everybody else. And so was Michigan just doing it better than everybody else?
You heard the same thing during the PED era of baseball. And I know I've even mentioned this as well about the idea, well, who had the advantage of a pitcher and a batter? Both are using something, then where's the advantage? But that also, that doesn't absolve the idea of breaking the rules or doing something that's unnatural, and that stealing signs from an opponent that you're not actually playing at that moment and it's not on television is against the rules. But I also, Matt, think it leads to a place now because this, Michigan doesn't have to vacate the championship, and there's really not any major portions of this punishment that feel major. I mean, a $20 million fine to a lot of other schools in the state of Michigan that even have Division I football programs like Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, that would knock those athletic programs into another conference. I mean, to a lower level. $20 million at Michigan is a drop in the bucket. It's at the same time, you see Tennessee is going to be an Adidas school now. Adidas signs with Tennessee, and they'll be giving them about $20 million a year, for whatever it is Tennessee wants to use. Upwards of $5 million was what Tennessee was getting from Nike. They'll get $15 million more from Tennessee. So, when I look at that, Tennessee's acting like that's a big deal. And you know what? It is a big deal. So maybe $20 million isn't a big deal. Is a big deal. It has to be. Tennessee's got donors just like in Michigan. They got people like the Haslams that could throw $20 million out for them, whatever.
Peyton Manning
could probably do it too, just based on his Omaha productions and nothing else. So maybe $20 million is bigger than we're giving it credit for. It's just, when I read about Portnoy's just ready to throw dollars at NIL specifically. Well, I mean, when you're losing $20 million from your budget now, it feels like that's all NIL that you're losing. He'll just end up, making some WNBA bet, a couple of parlays, maybe make himself $5 million at the drop of a hat, and throw it right at Michigan because he was so in the forefront about this when the scandal came to light. So nothing comes from it necessarily. It's just something to kick around. And yeah, let's see. If we're not doing this show in 30 years. Maybe we're doing it another 10 years. Let's mark it down for 2035 and see if this is something anybody's talking about. Or if anybody even remembers. It'll be one of those things. Oh, do you remember that? Oh, yeah, the cash in the McDonald's bags at Tennessee. It's just you remember little details that come out every once in a while. Like, what was it? The color of the Grand Am that Dickerson was, had a photo with when he, at SMU, a little bit of the evidence there, just little details. You remember Stallions being on the sideline in disguise, and his name, too. But you're going to remember to spell it. Stallions with one L, not two. Seth and Rogers says, $20 million seems like a lot as an Arkansan, because it is a lot. Yeah. To Arkansas, with a smaller alumni base, by a lot, a $20 million a year fine would be huge. But it feels like at Michigan it wouldn't be. But I guess part of the question is too, like if you're Arkansas and you won a championship, you won a football national championship, and at the same time had your name dragged through the mud for 3 years straight, and there's evidence that there was cheating going on, and you're going to lose $20 million, is it worth it? Would somebody step up and give? And is there enough money out there to pay it forward? Or would it be enough? I mean, that's a question people are asking now. Would you cheat knowing that it's going to cost you $20 million, but you win a championship along the way? My answer, I think, for a lot of folks would be yes, because you didn't lose the championship. There's nothing that you lose from the experience of the championship. You don't lose that experience of a 15-0 season and that 5-month not even roller coaster ride, just 5 months of joy. You don't lose any of that. They're not vacating any wins. Even if they vacated any wins, it wouldn't mean anything. Taking down banners from a wall inside a basketball building, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. You don't lose the experience of the championship. The players don't give back the rings. Nobody has to give back T-shirts or hats that proclaim a championship. So yes, they would do it. Absolutely. Once again, they would do it.
I wonder if it, because they've had so much change, I guess, in the coaching staff, except for Moore. Do you think it even hurts recruiting right now? Do you think if you're a high school junior about to go through your junior or senior year and Michigan's recruiting you and there's other schools? Because if Michigan's recruiting you, then that probably means a lot of other blue chip schools are recruiting you as well. Does it make you think, because and you want to go? I wonder what kids think if they still want to go there.
Well, they still recruited fairly well even while the scandal was going on and it was publicized, and the idea that, hey, we may end up losing some scholarships or whatever didn't seem to hurt their recruiting all that much, because I don't think it hurt their NIL budget all that much. I guess the thought is a $20 million fine should hurt your NIL, but I really wonder if it hurts Michigan's NIL compared to anybody else's. And then Seth also makes a really good point here on the text line, 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. How much revenue was generated by winning the national championship? And none of that has to be given back as well. All right, we'll continue on halftime in a moment. You can get with us on that Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Sound from Deke Adams, Justice Boone, and Cam Ball from yesterday's post-practice presser coming right after this break.
The Green
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey everyone, David Rath here with Rath Auto Resources. Since the state's giving you a tax-free weekend, we figured we'd do even better. 3 weekends of state sales tax paid when you trade, and all the weekdays in between. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. Get state sales tax paid when you trade, now through August 16th. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Equipment down, got a leak, lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In the streets to words
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, it looked like Brian in Ozark paid his bet this morning at Hardy's, Matt. I don't think he went on the air, but I saw a photo from the Hit That Line Twitter account of $100 and $20. Was it? I think it was $20 bills, right?
He showed up like early in the morning and dropped it off, but he
didn't actually hand it to Ty.
He did not give it to Ty. He
might have had to go to work.
I know, but
you don't know what he does. Don't you think he works during the day?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But meeting him,
hey, you paid up, man. That's
all that matters.
That's right.
That's right. It would have been different if he'd have left it there and someone else would have walked away with it. But I saw the money in Ty's hand, so congratulations. Ron, he still even texts on the Ron and Lamar line every once in a while, so he could get on anytime too. Just thinking about you ever go back and I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but the last time I looked in my high school yearbook, my senior high school yearbook, which would have been, I think I looked a few years ago, I saw where there was a friend of mine that I had owed a bet from the year before, $20, that I hadn't paid up, and he reminded me of that in the yearbook. So I think I paid him from that. Yeah. So it's funny. You can go back and actually look and remember the people that you owed money to. Peter John, that's the guy. I don't even remember what it was for, but it was $20. And I did pay it, all those years back. Deke Adams spoke to the media yesterday. By the way, today...
Another off day.
Nope.
Nope. Weird camp the way they do it these days.
Nope. Sunday's the off day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll do 6 days. I think the rules are 6 days in a row, and then you got to have an off day. Yeah. So they're trying to get into that rhythm of the season. No, today's the last viewing session for the Arkansas media at any practice. You don't get a chance to look at that practice during the season. So this is it. Credentials won't get you in any longer to practice for those 20-minute sessions. It should be over by now. Practice began at 9:15, 2-hour practice. They're done by now. And no media sessions either. So isn't that nice? Get that over with a little bit early too. So Deke Adams did speak to the media, and he was talking a lot about, who you're hoping can get to the quarterback this year.
I mean, I think he's ready. I mean, he's he kind of came along his first year, a lot of special teams. This past year, he kind of, he played a good bit, and he had great guys in front of him that he could see how things worked, and he did that. And this spring, he had a really good spring. And now, I think he's kind of settled in to where he is right now. He understands, he feels confident in what he's doing, and he's playing fast.
That's on Quincy Rhodes, who certainly did show flashes at times last year. Matt, you know that the team, we look at what they return in terms of production on the offensive side, which really isn't very much. Last year, Arkansas sacked the quarterback 26 times. They have exactly 2.5 sacks returning. Cam Ball had 1.5. Quincy Rhodes had the other. Nobody. I was reading this earlier today, and the Democrat got it wrong. Bradley Shaw did have a sack too, but that was just off the defensive line then. So just off your defensive lineman, you have 2.5 sacks returning. Not a lot of production in terms of getting to the quarterback. And Rhodes, they're hoping he may be one of those guys that can do it. The other being Justice Boone, who Adams also spoke about.
He's played in this league before, at his previous school. And so he does a really good job. He's a physical kid. He works really, really hard. And he understands whatever his limitations are, he understands those and he works through them. But he plays hard. He works hard. And he's a great kid as well. One of the things I've always wanted to do is just, have great kids in the room because, in this business so much, we're away from families and all this stuff so much. You want to be around good kids as well as good players. And he's both. And he's working hard, man. He's playing physical and all that. So I'm happy with him.
Matt is a dominant defensive end, potentially the biggest disruptor on a defensive team.
Yeah, it can be. I think a 3 technique. If you got somebody in there that commands a double team in that A gap, that can be just as tough as anything. But yeah, if you have somebody what you want to do on a defensive side is the offense has to account for you. You know, if the offense can say, all right, I can take our right tackle and he can account for this defensive end. I don't have to have a running back chip. I don't have to have a tight end help. I don't have to, worry about. Then it's advantage offense, And so as a defensive player, if they're just going to one-on-one you, sometimes you got to win your matchup, whatever position it is.
Adam's speaking a lot about, they're trying to get to a place where they're counting on winning one-on-one matchups. And I think it was Marcus Woodson, the secondary coach, the other day talking about, well, we want our corners to be man-on-man. And last year they had to go basically into a base zone package more often because they couldn't cover man-to-man. These two things kind of go a little bit together, don't they?
Well, you want to keep everything in front of you. One of the things I do like about a Travis Williams coach defense is they limit some explosive plays. They don't really get beat over the top. And I mean, we've had a couple times. It's going to happen every year. You'll have a couple times, but yeah, keep things, bend, don't break. What's hard for an offense is to go a 13-play drive, to go 15-play drive. It's real easy. What coach say, man? It makes Coach Petrino said when we got Mike Washington Jr. out there, it makes calling offense better because you call 3 plays and it's a touchdown. So make them have to go more plays, multiple plays. You kind of figure each other out, and it's hard to have 12 perfect plays or a 14-play drive. Where if they get explosive plays and it only takes 3, 4, 5 plays to get points, it can kind of be a backbreaker.
Adams continuing on a couple of interior defensive linemen that Arkansas is hoping can step up. Danny Salee, who transferred in from BYU and played last year, has been showing a little bit more. I know Sam Pittman said that they needed him to show a little more. He has, at least in camp. And here's Adams on Danny Salee.
Really this spring, coming off the field last year, and Danny and I talk about it all the time, is just, hey, the biggest thing with me is being able to trust when I put you on the field that you're going to execute and do what we ask you to do. Coming from last fall into the spring, we talked about that, and we had conversations about that. And, man, he made some major, major strides this spring, becoming a guy that was more disruptive, that kind of understand what he could do and what he couldn't do. And then he's really kind of carried over from the spring. Now I'm challenging him to take it to another level. And so, but he's done a good job.
You could kind of see Salee struggling a little bit near the end of games last year, and they put him in a couple of critical spots. Hoping that's a little bit of an upgrade from Salee from last year. Another one is David Oakey transferring in out of Abilene Christian at defensive tackle.
To me, it's just, I use the word strain all the time with the guys. He's a really, really good talent. He's physical, he's twitchy, he's explosive. We talk all the time about straining to the very end, and straining meaning, hey, finish getting off that block, that one extra step that I have to take to get to the quarterback, or that one more flip in my hips to be able to give me a chance to get to the quarterback. Strain to the very end. And it's not just him, that's with everybody in the group. We do that every day. And even with our practices, you have to strain in our practices because we play with that tough mindset.
When I hear Matt Coach talk about a strain, to me that sounds a little bit like effort, playing to the end of the play. I know Oakey was big time at FCS, and it might take a little bit more to crack here at the SEC.
Yeah, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. One of the things in the Premier League, you'll hear them talk suffer. They talk about you have to suffer, and because if it's easy, same concept. You have to strain. You have to, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's hard work, man. It's tough to go out there and to give in the margin of error. It's just the margin between victory and losing. A lot of times it's so small. It's how many times you get beat by 40? Not a lot. A lot of times it's going to be a 7 to 10 point game going into the fourth quarter. That's a handful of plays right there.
I wonder a little bit about the job of the interior linemen too, in terms of eating up blocks, because they're talking about how much they like the linebacker group this year. Matt Shaw, Sorey, Simmons. There's a couple other, Andrew Harris, and faster linebackers than I think we may have seen in previous years. It sounds to me like they feel like they've got some playmakers at linebacker, and so sometimes a defensive tackle is just somebody that helps someone else make some plays, a little bit of a no-name position. Potentially that could be what you get out of some defensive tackles this year, is just sort of opening up some holes in the gaps for your linebackers to break through.
Yeah, there's just so many guys, Phil. We'll see how they go about it, and you're right. It seems like the coaching staff, if they were to say what position group on defense they like the best, it would be T. Will's group. Isn't he the linebacker guy?
Believe he might be.
Yeah,
right.
Evaluating talent, getting the right guys in here. You can cause a lot of havoc with the linebackers. You can give them some different looks. Especially when you have multiple guys that can do multiple things.
877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and Brian's ears were burning because here he is. What's up, Brian? $100 lighter today, but a good man. Well done.
Yeah, so let me explain what I actually had to do. I forgot that I had a prior obligation. I'm out painting pipe fence, 5 miles of pipe fence with a brush and roller for this guy on a ranch. All right. So this is my day off. I forgot I told him I would be there at 9, so I got up at 5:30 to drive to Fort Smith and drop that money off because I told Ty I would have it there today.
You're working on your day off here. So this is working for this guy helping with this fence. This is day off activity?
Yes. This is what I'm doing. I have 5 miles of fence to paint with a roller brush and paintbrush.
That doesn't sound like much of a day off, Brian. You need to work on your days off.
Yeah. I'll be working I got there about 9, and I'll be working till about 5. But, I have 3 days off. I work a rotating shift, 3 on, 3 off. So this will be my 3rd day to be out there.
Well, all right. Now, since this is what you do on your days off, which to me makes it seem like you enjoy it, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but what is it that you do for a living?
I work with graphite carbon. I'm in a plant.
All right. So, I mean,
I don't know.
If you're not working hard physically, then you're wondering what is it like then? So, 5 miles of fence. Work. Good luck.
Yeah. So that's why I wasn't there to hand it to Ty in person because I had made this this other obligation. But I also made sure he got the money that I said I'd have there today.
Well, what about later in the year? I mean, we got this game all set up for November 15th or November 22nd. So we don't know what the lines are. Are we doing more bets with Ty now that we know you'll pay up? It might take a few months, though.
Yeah. I'm going to look at it. Like I said, Texas defense is going to be the dominant of college football this year, so I'll probably make a bet on Texas defense against
What was last year's bet? Was it about number of points that Arkansas would allow? Was that what it was?
No, it was actually, I didn't believe that Landon Jackson or the defense would sack Quinn Ewers at all. I figured that Texas' O-line would stand up against their defense, and they didn't. They won the game, but they didn't stand up against Arkansas's defense. So they got like 2 sacks. I think Landon got 1, so that's how I lost the bet.
Okay. Yep. Well, Brian, well done. And hey, I would say enjoy your day off. And maybe some people enjoy painting 5 miles of fence, so have fun.
Extra money is extra money.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
All
right,
see you
Brian.
later.
Yeah, good. Thanks for the call. And I was going to say thanks for Ty's money, but I don't get any of that. I mean, I feel all right. I feel good for Ty, but it's not like I get any of that money. It's like, does anybody here feel good?
I think he donated it.
He's donating the money. See, that's what happens when you make the big bucks now, Matt. You get a.
I think Tommy pressured him to donate it, and he ended up doing it.
The most talked about $100 bet in sports radio history, at least in Arkansas sports radio history.
Must be nice.
Tommy strong-arming Ty to donate it to charity, and Ty's looking at that like, hey, that can be part of my dues for hardscrabble. That could be part of my ability to make up a story, a VR story about my next hole-in-one.
Should have gave it to NIL.
It could get you, what is $100 worth going to get you for a college football team? Is it going to say, is it going to get you maybe half a snap off a play? Yeah. Some expensive shoelaces they have in college athletics. Very, 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 very expensive. Yeah, B.E. thought Brian lost another bet, but he always sounds like that, B.E. Like, could you imagine what Brian would sound like if Texas wins a national championship? He would still sound bored. Yeah, Ty needed the tax write-off. $100, not going to help him all that much. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Ty was over at Hardee's today for the Monster Burger Eating Contest. I think we got the finals tomorrow, don't we, Seaburger? The finals for the Monster Burger Eating Contest is tomorrow at Hardee's. The winner gets a free trip to Vegas in November to see the Raiders and the Cowboys. How much fun is that going to be? Thanks to Hardee's for doing the 20th consecutive year of the Monster Burger Eating Contest, and I'm sure we're going to do it again next year. It's brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. After the break, we wrap up the first hour of halftime. Stay with us.
I am the one who knocks. This is halftime.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Around here, we don't just know your name. We know your dad's favorite truck and your kid's baseball team. That's how it is when you've been in the same town for 90 years. At Hug Chevrolet GMC, we believe in handshakes, hometown service, and treating you like family. Because you're not just a customer, you're a neighbor. Hug Chevrolet GMC. The people, the place, the pride.
Bow hunters, it's time to get ready for bow season, and Jelco Outdoors has the best selection of Matthews, Elite, Hoyt, and Bowtech compound bows for you. Huge selection of arrows, back targets, sights, and releases to help you get dialed in. Need to replace strings and cables? We are ready with gas bowstrings in stock with quick turnaround to get you ready. Jelco Outdoors, your premier archery shop in the River Valley, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Jammart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the Jammart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the Jammart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Jammart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
right to give word the war is over. Send my sinners home to mother. They gave me a medal for my valor. Heaven trumpets spit the soot of power. They say on your side when nobody is, 'cause nobody is. Sit right here and sleep while I slip poison in your ear.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Last night in Denver, Arizona playing Colorado, the D-backs leading 8-1. Former Razorback Jalen Beeks was on the mound, and something weird happened.
The exception is their only run, a Kyle Farmer solo shot against Erod to lead off the fifth inning. That's been all the scoring for the Rockies tonight. Yeah, it's just the last thing the Diamondbacks need. Jalen Beeks, something's not right.
Yeah, Jose Herrera once again noticed it right away.
I think it looks like he's trying to catch his breath. Ken Crenshaw coming out, the athletic trainer.
So they got the trainer, the manager, Torey Lovullo coming out. Beeks apparently was okay. He finished the inning, did allow a run, and then Lovullo was asked afterwards what happened with Jalen Beeks.
Beeks just like dehydrated or something?
He swallowed a fly. So
he swallowed a fly in the middle of his delivery, which I don't think I've ever heard of this before. They'll tell you you'll see something different every time you go to the ballpark. I don't actually believe that. This is something different. At least he had some protein in the middle of an inning.
That's right. Keep your energy levels up.
I was watching this video. You see him deliver the pitch, and then all of a sudden he just starts looking like he's having trouble breathing just for a split second. And it's the moment where Beeks said, "I swallowed the fly." Like he ate the fly. And he said he could feel it going down his throat. And then he steps off the mound, and you got to think to yourself, what the heck just happened? And the first thing anybody would think when a pitcher steps off the mound like that and the trainer's coming out is like, oh gosh, arm injury. Here goes the UCL tear. No, he actually ate a snack. And I guess you could say that's an involuntary snack that Jalen Beeks ate on the pitcher's mound. Yeah, I mean, I've almost heard of everything. Because, Jabba Chamberlain, if he would have taken this tack, eat the midges, in that playoff game against the Yankees all those years ago, about 22 years ago, things would have turned out differently for him. Eat the midges. Don't just try to shoo them away. How gross was that?
Chocolate-covered grasshoppers. You ever had one of those?
I may have tried one of those. It's the first time you ever remember hearing people eat grasshoppers. No, they don't. Come on. Chocolate-covered bumblebees. All these kinds of things. Hey, if they're selling Pat Murphy pancakes at Milwaukee games, it's about to start selling free chocolate-covered flies. Sponsored by Jalen Beeks at Arizona Diamondback games. Hour number 2 coming up. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Back in just a moment.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Janmark gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the Janmark Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the Janmark Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Janmark, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
You're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. A high this afternoon will be right around the mid-90s with a very slight chance of a shower or storm across the south. Tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy, low 70s, and then a few isolated showers or storms on Saturday. A high will be into the mid-90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 15 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one racerback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
.12:01 halftime on a Friday, back underway. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. We've got no guests in the second hour. We'll have a Fish City Grill trivia question later. $25 gift card to our friends at Fish City Grill for whomever answers the question correctly, but that'll be later on in this hour. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline come in at 877-377-6963. I think I might have made Scott, the tortilla guy, a little bit nauseated. That's 2 days in a row because he brought up your Cubs guy injury from yesterday and some of the more gruesome injuries we've ever seen in this very topic yesterday. And then the Jalen Beeks eats a fly in the middle of a pitch right around 12 o'clock. Am I wrong in bringing up gross and potentially nauseating topics at 12 o'clock or right around 12 o'clock, man? I don't want people to be nauseated listening to this show. I want them to at least be entertained. But sometimes I get entertained by things that apparently can be a bit nauseating.
We've all done it. You know, you'd be hunting in in the woods with pops. You'd be early in the morning and you're walking through trails and you kind of ducking limbs, and all of a sudden you a spider web fly goes in, whatever. You know, we've all I want to say one of the last times I did, Phil, I was 6th, 7th grade with some of my buddies, and we're riding our bicycles and just kind of riding through some dirt trails, and a fly goes, and you're like, oh, just don't wreck.
Yeah, I think that happened 2 days ago for me. So the thing always hits the back of the throat, right there in the back. I mean,
right away, exactly.
You have to remind yourself, don't sing to the lyrics when you're out on your bicycle going at 20 miles an hour, however fast you are. Because if you sing, chances are something's going to end up in your mouth that shouldn't be there. Yes, Jalen Beeks is a stud. Brandon in Paris thought that maybe the Jeff Goldblum would be very helpful for this situation. Isn't that kind of nasty? Insects in ballparks are always entertaining. I forget what city it was where there was a bee's nest or a wasp's nest that had taken hold either right behind home plate or one of the dugouts, and there was a 2-hour delay to remove the nest because there was a giant swarm of these things. You can't play baseball on a field that's got a swarm of bees. And then the midges with Jabba Chamberlain. And what year was that? It was a series against the Yankees. It's in Cleveland, right there by the lake. And Chamberlain, he was one of the better relief pitchers that year, has what looked like thousands of tiny little midges flying all around his face, and he just couldn't get away from it. Turned out that the biggest issue for Jabba Chamberlain in that series or that game weren't the hitters for the Yankees. It were the thousands of tiny little, barely visible insects that were flying all around his face. I remember listening to that, then you see it, and you're like, goodness gracious, you wouldn't be able to pitch in that either. Yeah, and then there's the occasional black widow that takes up residence inside the clubhouse. That was always one of the freakiest things I remember seeing. The Athletics AA team back at old Ray Winder Field. I'm delivering lineups into the clubhouses, and one of the players for Midland says, hey, man, come over here and look at this. Do you see this in other clubhouses in the Texas League? He asks me and points with his bat into a little hole, and there it was. Big black spider, had the red tuxedo, the bow tie tuxedo mark right there on the top of her body, and I'm like, get me out of this ballpark.
Where was ASAP. That? The unit, myself and you, this might have been 2 years ago at one of these Mexican places, and we were standing outside. And we saw one of those. Yeah.
I don't want to say where it was.
Yeah, but that's the last one of those I've seen. What makes you a little more nervous, seeing one of those or seeing a snake when you're not really ready for either one of them?
Wow. The spider, usually you just don't see it. It just comes up out of nowhere. Like when you're on a run in the middle, you're early in the morning before the spider webs get sucked up by the spiders. You end up running about face first into one of those things, and it looks like the thing could suck off your face. I think I would say the spider would freak me out a little bit more. Yeah, I was going to hit on this a moment ago, Matt. This $20 million is an interesting number that we're shooting at today. Michigan apparently will have to be paying upwards of $20 million of postseason money for the next 2 years, and Tennessee is going to be making roughly $20 million per year on a new contract, 10-year contract with Adidas. And Adidas is making Tennessee, according to the press release, Tennessee will be to Adidas like what Oregon is to Nike, or Michigan and Jumpman.
I think they have the Jordan brand, yeah.
It's the idea of being the flagship school of the brand. So Nike apparently was paying Tennessee $5 million a year to be their apparel. They're making $15 million more. And I see comments about Adidas, and it's not necessarily the apparel company that everybody's all fired up about. But if you're making $15 million a year more, I mean, what matters in this case? Now, Matt, I think you got a better understanding of what Adidas is good at. course, we remember them from Arkansas, and I also remember like the switches at Arkansas. What were people more excited about, Adidas to Nike or Pepsi to Coke? Because it felt like it was about at the same level.
Yeah, Adidas really big in the soccer world. Their cleats are more advantageous for D-backs and wide receivers. And they once you get to that level, they make good stuff, but it's a European cut, so it's a little more narrow. So you got if you need a wider shoe base, but at that level, everything's super nice, and that those kids don't want for anything. They'll have 17 different pair of Adidas cleats in their locker room. You kind of it's pretty cool.
But I also wonder in this age, it was, Therius Acuff, who's going to be a point guard for Arkansas basketball this next year, is on a Reebok deal. So a high schooler signed a Reebok deal. Arkansas is a Nike school, so what does he wear?
We have to wear Nike shoes. You have to wear what team apparel.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, I don't know if like awkward is the word, but now you get college athletes who come into school with their own shoe deal.
Didn't your boy Patino kind of get in a little bit of trouble somewhere in Louisville's rank? Whoever they were getting, they were trying to get guys in high school to say, hey, look, come here because we can get you a shoe deal with our brand, kind of what you're talking about right there. And I think Reebok they think, hey, we'll let the kid go to Arkansas for a year if he's going to be the 5th overall pick in the draft, and then he'll be wearing Reebok here in 9 months. So I don't think they're trying to get kids at the best rate they can get them at now.
Well, wasn't there Adidas was at the center of that FBI wiretap from a few years ago?
I thought that was with Patino. Yeah.
You notice how there's no show cause ever delivered to the shoe companies. They're not banned from being a part of college sports. And yet look at how many careers were changed or ruined by that scandal, of which Adidas was at the center of. I mean, their representatives were at the center of this. And yet now people have sort of forgotten about that, haven't they, Matt? Now the talk about Adidas is, oh, look, they're throwing $20 million at Tennessee legally. Yeah, that's all to your point, too, about this Connor Stallions thing. What do you remember about things 4 or 5 years from now? Or do you just remember tiny little things that just become little nuggets of information that stop meaning anything? Doesn't seem like Adidas was punished for anything that involved that the influence scandal, which, man, I mean, that encompassed LSU, Arizona, Kansas. I mean, some of the biggest names in college basketball. But yet Adidas is able to just continue to run business as is. 877-377-6963. Hi, Charlie. How you doing today? Tuna's on the Lewis Automotive Hotline.
How you guys doing, man? What a segment here. What a last few.
Charlie, if you had to spend $100 on a pair of shoes, which I guess they could be $150, Nike, Adidas, or Reebok, what are you buying?
Nike.
Yeah, same. I think most people are Nike. Yeah.
Well, there's so many there's so many other brands now that everybody goes to. Who's going to be the first Hoka school? Who will
that'd be like the softball league of like 68-year-olds.
Right.
It's like help your plantar fasciitis. Yeah.
I think Hoka sponsoring my dad's 75 and older baseball team. That's what it is.
Maybe the Banana League could get some of that. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, don't you talk about that plantar fasciitis like that. The old Tuna had an experience. And
I'm with you. No, you're preaching to the choir. I got it too.
I used to wear Air Force Ones all the time when I was a kid. And still sometimes I like to rock them, if the Tuna's trying to style a little bit. Look cute that day or something, look sexy. But anyway.
I feel like the University of Charlie, the Tuna's athletic department would be sponsored by Hey Dudes. You would be Hey Dude, would be your brand. I don't think they make cleats, so you're going to have to convince somebody.
In all seriousness, man, that plantar, whatever, I hate trying to pronounce that last word, and I work at healthcare. Y'all should hear me try to pronounce some of these words. And I'm country, and, it's all that. So it don't work well. I just know what all of it is. But speaking of snakes and stuff, I got a little story about that. And spiders. Hey, Phil, have you ever been in a situation where, when you get up in the middle of the night and you got to go pee, right? So the thing is, have you ever just, when you're getting up to do that, you don't always think to look like down. And so I went to do that a few years back, and out of
I
nowhere.
just say,
and
just
you're
if I were
sleepy.
to stop you right there, I feel like this story could go in about 20 different directions.
It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be bad. I look out of the corner of my eyes, and there's this huge spider. As and I like screamed like a little girl. Now it's because I guess it was just out of nowhere, and so I'm not really scared of them like that though. And a snake did scare the tuna when I was 4. He jumped out at the tuna. That was it with me on snakes. So I don't do snakes, but I ain't really like you, Phil. You're running, right? Are you running and screaming the other direction? Is that your plan? If
No,
you
the
see
thing
one?
I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the nearest piece of toilet paper and kill that sucker ASAP. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
I
turn the light
understand.
on. It may take me a couple hours to get back to sleep, but I'm going to preserve myself. I'm going to live.
Understand you have swallowed a few spiders in your life and eaten them in your
Well,
sleep.
that's what I keep
It's that-
hearing. I mean, everybody says that you don't realize the number of like spiders you swallow while you're asleep, and then I see other people that say that's all a bunch of bunk because you can't disprove it and you can't prove it unless you got
I don't
you
want to
have
know.
a camera right on your face.
I don't want to know. How about that? That's what I say to it. But now I was going to ask you, Matt, what are some things you're kind of looking for? I know in these first few games, obviously the UAPB game last year it was hard to evaluate it. I remember a few times, the year before, I don't know who we played in that first game, but we struggled to run the football. And that kind of became a sign of that throughout the year. What are some of the things you're kind of looking for in the first few games? Obviously, we should physically dominate them, but if you see some issues at the line of scrimmage with the snap, with the us not being physical enough, are those some of the things you're kind of looking for? We don't have to run many plays. We shouldn't have to run many plays. Kalen shouldn't have a carry, in my opinion, but I'm sure he'll read a couple and pull them. But that's my question to you guys. What are y'all kind of looking for? Obviously, the penalties hopefully they're down, and no MAs, or as least amount of them as possible. I know they happen a little bit in game 1. Usually game 2, you play better. I just wonder what you guys were looking for in the first few games. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
I think the game he's referring to from a couple years ago, Matt, wouldn't be Western Carolina. It would be the Kent State game.
I think
week
so.
2 of 2023. And it wasn't they didn't establish the run early in that game. I mean, they ran roughshod over the Golden Flashes or whatever it is Kent State's called. I think Golden Flashes in the second half, but they didn't establish the run until
Now, did
the
all
second
those
half.
kids go to Indiana? Was that what, or was it a James
No,
Madison?
that's James
with the
Madison.
Kent? Okay, I was thinking that maybe that wasn't as bad as you think.
Kent had lost their coach, I think, to being Dion's first.
Oh, that's right. He was OC and didn't make it very long. Yeah.
And I remember that too. That kind of was a sign. If you weren't able to establish the run against a bad MAC school in the first FBS game of 2023, that did sort of show. The line really struggled that year. You had a lot of trouble running the ball with any success in the 2023 football season. I think KJ led the team in rushing, Matt, but it really wasn't all that many yards.
Real simple, real easy. Tuna, ball security on offense. Let's make sure 0 turnovers for this first week. That's going to be kind of big. As many fumbles as we had last year, as many times we put the ball on the ground. Protect that football. That's what I want to see early on. And then on defense, how fast are we? How physical are we? Can we tackle? That's how are we tackling? How do we tackle individually, and how do we tackle as a group?
Yeah. You got enough there, Tuna?
I think he might have
gone away. Yeah. I don't think I've ever bought a pair of Adidas shoes. I really don't think I ever did. I got the Reebok pump when D Brown did his no look slam. Yeah, that's when I and all my other friends bought the Reebok pump. Still have never owned a pair of Jordans. It's been a while since I bought Nikes, but Nike was the default shoe for years for me, and then it's been New Balance, and I don't know, New Balance isn't doing anything for other schools. Now I got a pair of Brooks, and that would go to the sponsorship of the 75 and older baseball team. When you deal with fasciitis the first time, you're going to be looking for shoes that are just a little bit more comfortable and not that cool, and that's exactly what I did. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Oh, big day today at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's Grill and Cantina at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith with daily specials. Today is Fajita Friday. That's all day long at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Get $1 off any and all of their fajitas on their menu, which you can find online at joesfortsmith.com. But the special is dine-in only. The featured drink is a flavored margarita today. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina right across from Harps in Fort Smith, joesfortsmith.com. We'll be back in a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, will help you move forward.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Lying in my bed again and cry 'cause you're not here. In my head again and I know that it's not clear. Put your hands inside my face, see that it's just you. But it's bad and it's mad and it's making me sad because I can't be with you. Be with you. Be with you. Be with you. Be with you.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, look at that. We were about to put on Ryan in Fort Smith, and he hung up.
He's back. That's
back?
Ryan in Hot Springs, yep.
Okay, he's on that right there. 877-377-6963. Hello, Ryan. How you doing today?
Hey, guys. I hope y'all having a great day.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Hey, are y'all going to the fan day by chance tomorrow?
What is it that's going on tomorrow? Actually, I'm not going to it, but tell me what it is.
I don't know what it is. I've never been to one. That's kind of why I was calling in, but I also called in because something Matt was talking about, not want to see any fumbles put on the ground. But the way I feel about it is I don't want to see any period. You know, I want to say it was in the first quarter, maybe even on that first drive. Jack fumbled it out of bounds.
He sure did.
And I felt like kind of one of the games. So the first time I see us put the ball on the ground, my first thought's going to be, here we go again. And even if we do get the ball back, you know, that can cause field position issues, and you know, it could also even be the difference between picking up a first down.
Right, that's certainly one thing. I never want to think that you're defined by what happens in the first game, and you really shouldn't be. But I remember that 2023 season is sort of being defined as you can't run the ball, and they couldn't run the ball when you should have been able to run it against Kent State. And then last year, yeah, you're right. On the first drive, fumbling, that's about as indicative of what happened last year as anything.
Well, they also, too, there was concern, too, out of that very first game, or the Blue Rock game, we played that Carolina team. I can picture the logo now, but, you know, a lot of people come out of that game concerned, too, that we didn't run the ball that well. And then it translated into the Kent State game, too. I just want to see us score a bunch of points and look efficient.
I'm really not worried they're not going to be able to run the ball against Alabama A&M or really against Arkansas State. I would just rather see making sure that nobody drops the ball. Hold on to that first and foremost, because I'd like to see that improve from last year. I don't think it can get worse. I don't really think you can't. There's no way, Matt, that they could actually repeat 30 fumbles. Can't do it.
If we fumble the ball 30 times this year, we won't win 8 games.
We fumble the ball 30 times this year, I'll end my career. It's what I think. You literally can't do it 2 years in a row. It's going to be impossible to fumble the ball 30 times 2 years in a row. You can't do that.
Hey, don't put the cart before the horse on that one there, Phil.
I'm always told, just when you think things can't get any worse, they usually can. But I really don't think.
And then the bottom falls out.
I just don't see it. I'd be interested just to know how many college teams have actually, and this isn't lost fumbles, just in a season, put the ball on the ground 30 times. Think about that.
2.75 times.
Exactly. It couldn't have even happened all that often. By the way, Ryan, Fan Day is tomorrow at the Walker Pavilion, 3 until 4:30. It's a free event. Maybe he's listening. It's a free event, Ryan, if you're still listening. Autograph session with the team. Free parking in various lots, including the Meadow Street parking garage. And there you go. That's Fan Day tomorrow at the Walker Pavilion, 3 to 4:30. And then you can walk down the street and go to the Party Animals game, right? Since those things are all coming together. Yeah, Carl, I did. I said I'd end. I've remembered. Don't make too many proclamations if you can't follow through with it. I didn't really finish the sentence. But yeah, I kind of was getting to the point I'd end my career if they fumbled 30 times because I just don't think you can do that 2 years in a row. I'm going to go, Matt, you know how I love statistical research for sports. I'm going to report back to you at some point. I don't know if I'll get it done today during the show, but when we reconvene on Monday, I will tell you how many programs in the history of college football have ever put the ball on the ground 30 times in 1 year. And I'll bet you can count it on one hand. Jawan in Fayetteville is with us here. Hey, Jawan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, fellas. I just had something to call in about. I just wonder if anybody looked at our schedule and when we play our opponent. Now, whenever we go play Mississippi, they're coming off of a crucial game with the Kentucky Wildcats. And before anybody says that Kentucky can't win that game, they won that game last year.
Exactly right. That was the game that kept the Rebels out of the playoffs, Juwan. You're exactly right.
Right. And they played in week 2 right before the Razorbacks go down to Oxford. I really think that we have more of a favorable schedule than people think when they look at our opponent and who they play right before they play.
Didn't Notre Dame play A&M the week before they come to Fayetteville?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Texas plays Georgia in Athens before they come play Arkansas. And they played Georgia last year in Austin, and nobody can tell me that they didn't have a hangover from that game, getting beat like they did, just the energy of the SEC game. So I think the Razorbacks are definitely going to be more favored in some of these games than people think. We played the Volunteers in Knoxville after they play Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
No, it's the other way around. No, Juwan, it is the other way around. I'm looking at the schedule grid here. Tennessee's off before Arkansas. So is Arkansas.
Oh, they're off that week?
Yeah, they get Alabama the week after the Razorbacks. So
okay.
Yeah, but with even to your point
we played
here,
them last year after they beat them.
A&M plays Florida before they visit Fayetteville. Auburn plays Missouri before they come to Fayetteville. Mississippi State plays Texas before they come to Fayetteville. LSU has Alabama. Look at this. LSU plays Alabama before they host the Razorbacks. Texas gets Georgia, and Missouri plays Oklahoma. Those are some tough games before Arkansas plays each of those opponents. That's a good point.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate you very much, Juwan. But then on the other hand, it's like, all right, well, before Arkansas plays A&M, they play Tennessee. Before they play Auburn, they play A&M. So on and so forth. Before the Hogs play Texas, they get LSU. Before Missouri, they get Texas. So this thing, Matt, does work both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's no cupcakes in the SEC. They're all tough. You don't show up ready to go, or you're overlooking. when I'm looking at that Arkansas schedule, you don't want to overlook Arkansas State thinking Ole Miss, but you definitely don't want to overlook Memphis getting ready for that Notre Dame game.
Anybody worried about who Memphis plays before they host Arkansas? I'm not about to look up that in the moment because I got a lot of other things to look up, including any football program that's ever put the ball on the ground 30 times in one season. We'll keep the Lewis Automotive Hotline open at 877-377-6963, and halftime continues after this.
The magic word's rock and roll, man.
This is halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Kind of like, well, what are you going to wear? And I was kind of looked at Clay. I was like, kind of what Clay has on right now.
This is halftime.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
This is Pastor Brad Luter with Grand Avenue Baptist Church. For all of our HVAC and plumbing needs, we call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know, 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. Speak a little louder, I'll even shout. You know that I'm proud and I can't get the words out. I wanna be with you everywhere.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Nathan texted in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, Matt. It was a petition for Fleetwood Mac Fridays. Would everybody be all right with at least one day with a Fleetwood Mac Friday? I celebrate nearly their entire catalog, don't you?
Great work. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nathan also tells me that Adidas makes a shoe called Ultra Boost, which should help out anybody with plantar fasciitis. A couple people actually texted in about that, so thanks. The Brookses work really well. I got those from the Good Feet store. And that place worked really well. The Brookses are really good too. But if next time I need them, I'll think about these Ultra Boosts. Doug in Mountain Home also found some information where there was a game in 1969 with Wichita State, back when they had football, and Florida State. The teams combined for 27 fumbles in one game. Guess they hadn't invented Stickum yet, or gloves for playing in the rain or whatever. I can't even imagine a game of 27 fumbles. But what was the final score of that game? 3-0? 2-0? And I did find, believe it or not, 8 other teams in the last 10 years that fumbled the ball more times than Arkansas did last year. Nobody did in 2024, obviously, but in 2023, Nebraska put it on the ground 30 times. Keep going a little farther down the line here. This is 2019. Georgia Tech fumbled 33 times. Of course, I think they ran the ball about, 80% of their snaps the year before. Air Force, Georgia Southern, San Jose State, over 30 fumbles. Utah, Army, and Virginia Tech had over 30 in the 2016 season. I also identify these teams, Matt, as run-first ball clubs, right?
Triple option type teams.
That's right. So part of it is also the percentage of how many times they lost the ball. So I guess 30 sounds like something that could be a record-breaking number. But then Doug put into his chat, Cal State Fullerton in 1992 fumbled it 73 times. That's made up. I don't believe everything that comes out of chat. I've heard this called AI hallucination. I've heard it called. It's like Chat GPT is eating mushrooms or something. I don't know. But it tells you information that's not true. It makes things up sometimes. 73 fumbles in one season sounds made up. Literally made up. That can't be true.
And as a coach, does your hair go gray or do you go bald? I mean, if you're coaching a team and they put the ball, I mean, that'll make you pull your hair out.
To me, that's the kind of thing as being a manager or a pitching coach on a team that just nobody can throw strikes, and there's nothing you can do about it. You feel what can you do about it? But then it's like fumbles. Sometimes is there something that's just random about fumbles, or is the randomness once the ball's on the ground and who recovers it?
It does take a funny bounce most of the time. Sometimes it'll bounce right up there to you, and then sometimes it'll slide to the right.
Yeah, I think losing the ball is a matter of maybe mentality, And I always think this will be a Halle Berry movie that you may have to watch over the weekend, C-movie. You remember what Omar Epps had to do in the program? Because he had trouble at practice fumbling the ball. It might have been in a game, too. I don't remember. So he had to carry a football with him all around school, all day long, and his teammates would try to knock it out of his hand when he was walking in and out of the class. I mean, that was a major point of that movie.
It was to the point last year where that's probably what Arkansas should have done. I mean,
it would have been great. You see Jaquindon Jackson, who had a great season, walking all around campus. If it's not doing digital school, digital classes, just walking around with a football around all day long. Boy, that guy just loves football so much. He's always holding a football. It's like the guys at I don't see guys at Arkansas doing this, but at baseball, when you have a game on a Friday, what did you do? Well, you wore your jersey. If you were pitching that day, what did you do? Well, you carried a baseball around you all day long. Well, that guy obviously loves baseball so much. Not a matter of, I got to fumble the baseball. Yeah, it's not that at all. Brian says 49 by Wake. As people keep doing the research here for us, AI says the most fumbles in a single season is 49 by Wake Forest in 1977.
God.
And they lost 33 of those fumbles. That was probably in, an 11-game season? Maybe 10? I don't remember how many they played.
That was probably when they ran the ball every play, too.
That's almost like losing the football nearly 5 times per game. Wow. 30 is nowhere near that. Absolutely nowhere near that. It's got to be the worst feeling in the world, too, is once you lose the football.
Oh, there's nothing. Throwing an interception, fumbling the football, letting your teammates down. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, but you got to keep your head up, and there's going to be a lot of times there's still more golf to go. But yeah, you don't ever. It's not a good feeling, that's for sure.
You want to get that ball back as soon as you can and just get that taste out of your mouth. Well, I'm sure it won't be a problem like it was last year. And another aspect of this, too, is that because you get different ball handlers. I would think that also has to do with who is carrying the ball for you in certain situations, right? So you don't, Talon is the only guy that's going to be handling the ball on a consistent basis that really handled it for you on a consistent basis last year. You could say Braylon, but, there weren't that many games where Braylon got 10 carries. So it's on Green, and Jaquindon had his share of fumbleitis, but, with Talon, how much of that had to do with, feeling he's got to run for his life or just kind of being a little bit careless with the ball. He might hold it out there a little bit more. So, maybe a bit of a change in where it is or how it is. He's going to hold the football once he's out and running with it. Anyway, I just brought up Halle Berry for a moment, C-Unit, and every time I think of this, I think of you and Halle Berry. I think of this.
Well, if you're happy with her, that's all that matters.
You don't think she's attractive?
No. I need a really pretty face. But hey, that's me.
I guess that's just him. He's the only person I've ever heard outside of Big Keith. I'm not going to take Big Keith's opinion as fact that Halle Berry is just, you didn't get all the hype about her. So you obviously know what it is you're going to be doing this weekend. Be Halle Berry movie of some sort, or maybe two of them. Now, there's a couple of football movies we could throw at you here. The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans from 1991. I think Halle Berry plays a dancer in that movie. That's also got a little bit of the gambling and football aspect of it. I remember the opening scene was really kind of crazy. So that's actually a good one. Boomerang from 92, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, near the top of their game, Robin Givens, Mike Tyson's first wife. Halle Berry was in on that one as, I think, somebody that Eddie Murphy was trying to woo. CB4 with Chris Rock. That'd be one that's worth it. The Program, I brought that up. She's a recruiting specialist and student for, I forget the name of the school. X-Men, Swordfish, Monsters Ball, Die Another Day. Any one of those would work. And you went with Swordfish, right, Matt? Here's the thing is, I probably feel like I got to put on Monsters Ball myself. Because I have to admit, I've never seen the movie. That's what she won the Oscar for.
I've never seen Monsters Ball either.
I think Angelina Jolie stars in this one too. I don't even remember if that's the truth or not. Die Another Day is a good one. But Swordfish, I remember Swordfish. Who else is in Swordfish? Do you remember
Travolta.
That? Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Travolta's in that.
And then, the Wolverine guy, Hugh Jackman.
So you can take your pick here, okay, C-Movie? And you got to make sure you watch it this time, because last week we either forgot that I had assigned Reindeer Games or you didn't hear it, and so we never got around to it. But this time, you got to watch it. It's going to be any one of these 8 movies that I listed there for you, okay? And then you got to let us know, if you think a little bit differently about whether or not you need a really pretty face or if Halle Berry is just a really pretty face.
I didn't say she's not an ugly woman at all, but I just don't get the hard eyes for her. Like everybody thinks she's the hottest thing ever.
Yeah, it's because what year were you born? What's that? What year was it?
95.
That's why. That's why. That's also like being born in 1978 and wondering why everybody's making a big deal of Linda Carter, because she was about as pretty as it got too. Still is. Now that I think of it.
I'm looking her up.
Yeah, look her up. She might have been a Miss America. Linda Carter played Wonder Woman. She was the first Wonder Woman. I don't know if she was the first, but she was the best, and she's the one that I grew up around.
Jennifer Connelly was pretty.
Jennifer Connelly's a G, no question
Connelly
about it.
Remains pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Hog Wild. We're getting a lot of people here saying you need to see Swordfish, and then a couple that are saying there's another reason why you want to watch Monsters Ball. You're gonna have a busy weekend, okay?
Oh,
Halle Berry Fest just for C-Movie all weekend long. Congratulations. You're gonna have yourself a great time. All right, we'll wrap up hour number 2 in a moment with Fish City Grill Trivia. Whomever gets the question right will win a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. Stay with us. We'll have that in a moment on Halftime.
Back in 82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
This is Halftime.
Bow hunters, it's time to get ready for bow season, and Jelco Outdoors has the best selection of Matthews, Elite, Hoyt, and Bowtech compound bows for you. Huge selection of arrows, back targets, sights, and releases to help you get dialed in. Need to replace strings and cables? We are ready with gas bowstrings in stock with quick turnaround to get you ready. Jelco Outdoors, your premier archery shop in the River Valley, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours. Or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
I like you, despise you, admire you, what I'm gonna do when everything all falls through. I must confess I made a mess of what should be a small success, but I digress, at least I've tried my very best, I guess. This, that, and the other, why even bother? It won't be with me on my deathbed, but I'll still be in your head.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Time for Fish City Grill Trivia. We do it every Friday here on Halftime, and whoever gets the answer correct first will win a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. They're at South Bellevue Road. Your fishcitygrill.com. Number's 479-636-8833. Specials this month, jalapeno bacon cobia tacos with grilled cobia, sweet chipotle aioli, cheddar jack cheese, pico, and sweet potato fries. Grilled branzino with chimichurri, garlic herb potatoes, and grilled broccoli. And the Matt Jones, I was going to say broccolini, but they left out the I and I. The Matt Jones go-to Texas redfish grilled shrimp with crawfish butter sauce, dirty rice, and herb green beans. Don't you want that for free? If you get this question right, and you're the first one to do it, you get the gift card. And I've done the research, and this is actually the correct answer. I had to do 2 questions last week because one question had multiple answers that I did not have, but this is the only answer to this question. Who is the only major leaguer in baseball history to hit 30 home runs in each of his first 10 seasons? 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. It should be a fairly easy question. And, there's really maybe 5 or 6 players that I think you would think of just to answer that question. So I'm not going to throw any of the names out there. But if you get that question right and you're the first one, well, then you will get the $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. It's a matter of the text line, not phone calls, but somebody's calling in right now. Ken Griffey Jr. is not the correct answer, although I think Griffey may have come close. I really do think, because if you think of the 2020 season is going to get in the way of anybody that had a streak like that going. But even Aaron Judge, he didn't hit over 30 home runs his first year or even I think his 3rd or 4th year. Griffey, he didn't hit over 30 homers until his 5th major league season. By that time, he was 23 years old. The answer is not Mike Trout. It is not Aaron Judge. It is Albert Pujols. And the first listener that got it in today, Seth and Rogers, has gotten this one right. Albert Pujols hit his 30th home run of the 2010 season today in 2010, and that set the record. Although, it's kind of like it's one of those made-up records. You know, how first amount of lead home runs in 10 seasons. I don't think anybody was thinking about that about 100 years ago. But, he hit 408 home runs in his first 10 seasons, then added 30-plus for his first 2 years with the Angels. So that made Pujols not just the first player to do it in his first 10 seasons, he did it in his first 12 seasons. Matt?
My answer would have been Mark McGwire, so I would not be eating today.
And I think with McGwire, you'd have been pretty close, too, because he had initially set a rookie record in 87 with 49 home runs, and he did hit for full seasons 30 homers his first 4 years, but then 22 in 1991, which would have been his 5th year. So I think that's a really good guess. Part of this is that a lot of guys that come up, they get a little taste the year before. So McGwire played in 18 games with the Athletics in 86. Most of that season he spent in the minor leagues. That still counts. The thing with Pujols is that, remember, he played just a little bit at AAA at the end of the 2000 season. You don't find those in the stats because he played for Memphis in their run in the AAA playoffs. And then he starts the next year as the third baseman, taking over for Todd Zeile with St. Louis, opening day third baseman, and finished the year with 37 home runs, and then never hit any fewer than 30 until age 33, which I think some people thought, well, if he says he's 33, he's probably more like 36 or 37. But yeah, and then, of course, finished with 703, and there's your answer. Congratulations, Seth and Rogers. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. You look at Pujols' first 12 years, nobody ever had a run like that. Really. To start a career, Ted Williams might have had a run like that, but he had 5 years. First. I think it was just the 1 year.
Yeah, that's what
he played
a
little bit of the outfield, and then he got to first base full-time in 2004. Now, I don't remember if he was all that good of a third baseman. If
they got swept by the Red Sox that year in the World Series, yeah.
Yes, they did. And in
I had
that
tickets
year,
to Game 5.
You're just looking at a career here with Pujols that he hit routinely. And it wasn't just in those 10 years, not only did he hit 30 home runs, but he also didn't hit any lower than 312. On-base percentage no lower than 394. It wasn't just the home runs. It was everything. Nobody really had a start. First 10, 12 years of a career, like Albert Pujols. Well, and then the next 10 were sort of like, wow, what happened to Pujols? Hour number 3 coming up. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. It's the golden hour, and it's right after this.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
I would buy a mansion, buy my dream car.
I've always wanted to go to Dublin, sit in a pub, and just kind of see what life's like.
I'm probably going to pass out.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. A high this afternoon will be right around the mid-90s with a very slight chance of a shower or storm across the south. Tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy, low 70s, and then a few isolated showers or storms on Saturday. A high will be into the mid-90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 15 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
And vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
It's our last Friday before college football actually gets going. Welcome back in the golden hour of halftime on a Friday. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Christian. Christian's back in studio, right? We had Ty the last couple of days for the last hour, but no, it's going to be Christian with this right here.
Is it?
Or is it? That's Ty. Congratulations, Ty, on your $100. Were you forced to give it up to charity or what?
I just went ahead and did that.
On your own goodwill?
Well, Tommy kind of guilted me into it.
For Tommy.
It was probably going to get used, let's be honest. It was probably going to get used towards alcohol and food, so it's going to a much better destination than that.
Can you tell us where it is that it's going?
Good Samaritan Clinic in Fort Smith.
The human fund.
The human fund. It's like the have you seen Fred Claus, Phil?
I don't remember. I think I fell asleep during Fred Claus.
Okay,
yes.
Well, Vince Vaughn plays Paul Giamatti's brother, who is Santa Claus, and he creates this people helping people fund, which is just him trying to collect money for rent or whatever it was, and he ends up getting taken down by cops and everything else. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty much the same thing with the human fund, right?
Exactly.
Was it George that came up with the human fund? I'm sure it was. I don't remember whose money it was they were giving into.
Kruger Enterprises. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like as good a thing as any. Oh, okay.
So congratulations to the Human Fund for getting Ron and Lamar or Brian and Ozark's money that he actually didn't hand to you, but we know that you did get it because I saw the photo, so that's good. Anybody heard from Colton the last couple of days? Is he going to show back up at work on Monday with Landry's birth earlier in the week? You realize when you see Colton on Monday, Ty, he will have that faraway look in his face that he's probably never had in his life, but it's also going to be the look in his face that he has for about the next 5 years.
No sleep. Team no sleep, yeah. I've had actually a couple friends that have had their first or second kid recently. So, the plan is I don't want to bother him and Gabby, but the plan is for him to be back on Monday unless he tells me otherwise.
So you think life changes with the first kid. It's the second kid when things really begin to change, especially, depending on the age difference between the two. And I always I told my ex-wife, who we get along great and everything, but after we planned on the two kids, guess what we're not doing? We're not being outnumbered in our own house.
Did you get snipped?
Nah, that didn't happen. But, there are other things you can do.
Pull-out king mattresses.
Yeah, there's those as well. Or you just end the relationship, I guess. No, that's not why that happened. Yeah, we weren't going to get outnumbered in the house. I never wanted it to be 3-on-2. Although my kid's mom grew up in a 3-on-2 household, and it sounded like the parents were a little bit overwhelmed and got over getting outnumbered.
I think the perfect, Matt, I don't know what you think about this, and Phil, the perfect setup to me is two boys and the daughter's the youngest. Like, you got the two kids that are going to carry on. You got one that's carrying on the Elson name.
Well, then do you think that it's like you need the two boys to help, I don't know, like
protect? Yes, exactly. Like my eldest bonus sister, they did it right. They got two older sons and they've got a daughter.
A lot of older sisters do the protection for the younger brother.
Yeah, but then that kid's a you-know-what.
Not all the time. I mean, it's just a matter of, who knows about how badass older sis can be. Yeah, I never wanted to feel like you're going to have a fast break run on you as a parent. A 3-on-2 all the way down half the basketball court. 2-on-2 is just much easier to defend. I don't know what Colton's got planned, but just maybe wait on the second kid for a good long while here. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Who's fired up for Banana Ball tonight? Anybody texting in or call us? Let us know who it is who's going to the game. I don't want to call it a game, event. Although they are keeping score, points not runs. I found my favorite Banana Ball rule, guys. It's the review rule. Every team is allowed to challenge certain calls by the umpires, fair, foul, runners tagged out, on the bases, home plate, whether a ball was caught or not. The fans can also challenge one play per game. I'm not exactly sure how they decided. There you go. One fan in the ballpark is the chosen to initiate a challenge. So one person out of the 13,000 or so that are showing up to the event tonight gets the responsibility of deciding when this one challenge gets used. But my favorite part of the challenge system for Banana Ball, guys, is that the ruling comes from the broadcast team. You actually are going to the broadcasters. There is no room of neutrality in Birmingham or Pittsburgh to make you think that there's something, under the surface here planned and a script that's been written to get one team the review over the other. And a lot of those reviews sometimes have felt like that based on what we see on the replay monitor. But hey, Bubba and I have probably been wrong on what we think we see on the reviews 70% of the time from at least what the outcome of the call is. So what we need to do this too. We need to change this from Banana Ball. All college sports replays will be executed by the broadcast crew, which I guess that would have to be the ESPN crew because we all know that they're unbiased, right?
Man, that's pretty neat right there. You get an extra monitor so you can look at it real quick, or do you just have to go by with what you're seeing from up top?
I would imagine it just has – that's a good question. I would never want to be the one who said, all right, you just have to go by memory now. Now we're going by memory. You better have that. You better have the TV monitor in the booth, go by that, and then everybody's looking up at you. That's the thing is when it comes for our non-conference baseball games, everybody stares into the pit of concentration next to the Razorback dugout waiting for these guys for 2.5 minutes. Now everybody's looking up at the broadcasters. Bubba and I would obviously make every call lean towards Arkansas. So that means if it comes to the radio crew, then we've got a debate. I'd have to get together with the Tennessee broadcaster during a series with the Volunteers, and we would have to hash it out. And who knows? Maybe that leads to a couple of punches being thrown. No, it wouldn't, of course, because we all get along so great.
Maybe you and whoever for the other team, y'all go down there and y'all get 3 swings.
Sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Get the broadcasters involved in the on-field stuff much, much more. Like some of the extra inning rules that they have here. The extra inning rule for Banana Ball is that the batter, first of all, it's sudden death. Any home run over the fence ends the game. I love that. If the ball is put into play, the batter has to try to score. In the second extra inning, he has to try to hit an inside-the-park home run. In the second extra inning, the team in the field uses a pitcher, a catcher, and one fielder, and the batter has to try to score on an inside-the-park home run and a ball put into play. This is just so exciting. I'm sure that the Manfred man will be replaced by all of this. But what we need to do is we need to throw the radio broadcasters on the field to actually try to score. Matt, if I tried to circle around the bases, and you know me, I get out and I run sometimes. 3 miles yesterday, 4 miles a few days before that. But if I tried an inside-the-park home run, sprinting as hard as I could, 90 feet times 4, there's a guarantee there would be an exploding hamstring by the time I get to third base.
Jordan Anthony would be playing my center fielder.
I would love to see Jordan. So we don't know who they're bringing in here for some of the celebrity, things. That
I get one fielder, he's got to run 4-3.
Get Jordan Anthony. Mm-hmm. Jordan Anthony would be the batter, and then Anthony could just hit a little ground ball down the first base line and just trot around the bases. He would score before the fielder even gets to it.
Phil, I've got a buddy that's actually he's one of the umps tonight for Banana Ball.
So is he a real umpire?
He's doing it tonight.
He's actually umpired real baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, cool. So in this case, he's got to do Banana Ball, which means he's probably learned some dance steps in the last couple of weeks. Is your buddy a good dancer?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Have you seen some of the dancing umpires? They have dancing umpires at Banana Ball, too.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He played baseball. I'm not going to list him by name, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I've never seen it. His wife maybe could either say yay or nay on that.
And we need dancing umpires. We need dancing football officials. Wouldn't you like to see, before the umpire puts the ball down there at the line of scrimmage, that after he backs away, does the moonwalk to back away? Lane in Cave City is with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hey, Lane, what's going on?
Hey, going good. Hope y'all's having a good day, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I just want to kind of get your thoughts, Mr. Phil, on, of course, I've called in before. I'm a Cardinals fan. What do you think about this NL wild card race? I mean, the Mets are trying their best to give it away. I don't know if we, the Cardinals, have enough ponies in the stable to actually make a run for it and get over that 3.5 game deficit that we've got right now. But what's kind of your thoughts on it?
I'd watch out for the Reds. Cincinnati's, I think, a team that's definitely on the rise. Mets are going to drop a little bit, and I'm not quite sure what's been up with them. The Dodgers falling into the wild card too is a little bit surprising, but St. Louis is going to fall off. Arizona's going to fall off. San Francisco's going to fall off. It'll end up being a 4-way race for that last wild card spot between, the Reds are going to be part of it. They made the moves they needed to stay competitive in that race. And hey, I think we'll find out about the Reds in these next 3 games, I think, as they get the Brewers. And Milwaukee right now is the hottest team in baseball. Nobody's quite like them. But yeah, for St. Louis, they've been playing for 2026 for the last 2 seasons.
Yes, sir. Well, and like I said, a fan's always trying to look up on the optimistic side. But we've got 6 games left with the Reds. And that's one thing got me excited about the Mets falling down, because with 6 games against the Reds left this year, that kind of can determine our fate. I mean, I know it's not really a puncher's, chance, but we might be able to pull it out if we can just take care of those 6 games.
Yeah, that's true. Going to need to hit the ball quite a bit better than you've been hitting this year, and that starting pitching staff's been really rough. So I don't see it happening. But then again, I didn't think they'd be 3.5 games out right now in the middle of August. So just being in the race is a good thing.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, thank you very much for taking my call, and hopefully your Pirates will get Paul Skeens something to help him along.
I love when our callers end their phone calls with jokes. It's a good one. We'll break here in halftime, and Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen joins us right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full certainteed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with Certainteed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Hole in the sky lounge. I saw a crack in the plan, but I got lines.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
College football starts next weekend. You got the Bet Saracen app on your phone. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Download from the App Store for your iPhone, Android users, Google Play, betsaracen.com on any web browser. Make sure you're inside the state of Arkansas to utilize Bet Saracen. And Neil Atkinson joining us right now on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Neil, coming close to it. I know we got a lot of things going on this weekend, but college football is just so close you can feel it.
Well, you know, one of my favorite sayings is we got 2 seasons. Football season and waiting for football season, and waiting for football season is almost over.
Certainly is. Very long list of prop specials for Arkansas football coming up. I'm just looking on the web browser right now, and I think I'm looking at 12 different prop bets, anything from regular season win totals to just various props on offense, you know, even your percentage of scoring in red zone. Just a lot that you can digest there at Bet Saracen for the upcoming Arkansas season.
Yeah, and look, I went and looked, and I looked at some of the national books, and I looked at some regional books, and in states where online sports betting is. I think I can safely say that there is no team, as far as sports betting content, season-long props, things of that nature, that are covered better than the Arkansas Razorbacks. I mean, the content that we have, and we've got it under the special page, and that's a lot of it is curated with all the resources that we have and the relationships that we have, people that know the teams, a lot of data and stats. What all we have there.
I was going to ask you about that too, Neil, because you know I just was on the text line telling a listener how I'm not going to do a preseason prediction for Arkansas football this year, and it's because of the unknowns. It's because I have no idea what to expect. It's just I understand that's, you know, a segment everybody's done for the last 1,000 years in college football talk, but I don't feel comfortable doing it. So I just wonder, you know, there's props on Monte Harrison, who didn't see the field very much last year, and there isn't much to go by. Same with Courtney Crutchfield. How did you come to a lot of these props for Arkansas players who just don't have a lot of much of a track record anyway?
Well, I've got news for you. We don't know what's going to happen either. So what we do is that I guess because of the transfer portal, we do have data on a lot of the new players that come in. You know, the freshmen that are coming from high school. That's a different story. But they're not expected to be on the field that soon unless they're a superstar. And then we can inject that into our modeling. And at the end of the day, we're looking at the data and like, let's go with this number. It's the best number that we can come with. This is a number that we think we can make bettable, and it would be attractive to the users. Are we going to get with all that we've done? Are we going to get some of them right? Yeah. We're going to get some of them wrong. No. But that's the whole preface of sports betting is that these props are nothing more than what when we put in our modeling, bringing in all of the historical stats, and then trying to weight it against the level of competition in the different games, how much they'll average against the SEC opponent, a top-tier SEC opponent, a mid-tier or lower tier, and the non-conference ones, and whether or not, it's like an Alabama A&M is going to be a totally different weighted than Notre Dame would be, for instance, on those games. So we put it together, and then that's our opinion. Now, when you make that bet and you say, hey, it's going to be over, and you're going with that bet, you're saying, hey, your opinion's better than ours. You think you've got it too low. And so we're going to bet that market and go with it. So we just wanted to put it out there and have the options because we have all of that with the NFL game by game and with the advent of fantasy sports, and you can't do fantasy sports on college players. We want to have content in there that is similar to that, and not exactly like fantasy sports, but something that somebody that's engaged with fantasy sports who we know transfers to sports betting. I mean, look at the two biggest sports betting companies in the world. They already had a database of fantasy sports writers, and that's why they're number one nationwide. So we're just trying to cater to the base and what people want, and we're lucky we can do such a good job on Arkansas because we only have that's the biggest team in the state, and that's what the most of our activity is on college football is on Arkansas. Now, we try to cover the other teams, but we have more data, of course, on Arkansas, and that's what we do. And it's just a menu offering out there, and we've got all the different combinations. We know those fans are engaged, so we're just giving and trying to see what they like and don't like, and tweak it as we go throughout the season. And this has been ever evolving. Used to we would do the specials and we'd have like 10 of them out there. Now we have an average of 50 and 60 game props out there that we compose, and it's just all based on how they perform and what customers have asked us for.
Well, obviously your users and customers like prop bets, but Arkansas is not one of the states that banned prop bets on college athletes. I think there's a handful of states that did, if not more than just a handful of states. But things are changing a little bit in a nuanced way at Bet-Sarazen for college player props.
Yeah, and we're voluntarily kind of doing it, and we've always taken a philosophy on props that we create not to do negative or adverse results of props, especially on players, for them not to do something in a game.
wall. They win a game. Maybe they're not as focused. I don't know what goes into it. I know each week you get into a routine, and then you don't really think about it. So it's however we go about it, it's still going to be it's going to be tough to win 8 games this year. But I think that's about the ceiling for this team. Without seeing a single thing about this team play with all our new guys, I would say the ceiling's 8.
I'm kind of wondering on what I think the ceiling could be, but I'm still at a place where I can't make any predictions. I told one of our listeners who asked earlier in the show, when are you making your season predictions? And I'm just not doing it. I don't even know if I'd do it after the Alabama A&M games. I'm just not sure if you're going to see anything that feels known after playing Alabama A&M. Hey, I'd seen this. The top-rated linebacker in Florida for high school, a kid named Isaiah Williams. Williams is in the 2026 incoming freshman class, and yesterday he decommitted from Ole Miss and committed to Florida State. Now, that's not really a big thing, but this is the 6th different commitment that this kid has made in the last 2 years. Just looking at the timeline here, and he's the top-rated linebacker in the entire state of Florida, so obviously there's a lot to work with there. He's 6'1.5", 215, comes from Tavares High School in Tavares, Florida. Committed to Louisville November of 2023, decommitted a couple of months later, started getting more offers. I don't know if Louisville was the first offer he got or what, but looking at the 24/7 report, Louisville may have been the first offer. He took it, commits, starts getting more offers, decommits in January. 3 months later, commits to Syracuse right after getting an offer from them. More offers pour in, coming from bigger schools. A few months later, decommits from Syracuse, visits Florida and Florida State, commits to Florida State September of last year. More offers pour in. Decommits to Florida State, commits to Florida, March of this year. More offers pour in, decommits. In May 2nd this year, decommits from Florida, commits to Ole Miss. Keeps making visits, Penn State, Georgia, Florida, Colorado. And then today, decommits from Ole Miss, commits to Florida State, and reports that he's shutting down his recruitment. This goes to something I think I've said a long time now. We need a new word. The word commitment is not what high school athletes are doing. They're saying, I think I may go there until I find something better. That's what that's about. So we have to find a new word, Matt. I don't know what the word is, but I've never heard of somebody making 6 different commitments. This is in a 2-year period.
I mean, but the way our linebackers here at Arkansas, his sophomore year, he could be starting for T-Will.
Yep. Yeah, considering, players that are coming in out of Florida State, also highly touted, Jaylen Brown being one of them. Yeah, there's a highly touted guy coming out of Florida State. 6 different commitments in a 2-year period. So if you're one of the coaches at that moment, you know full well, and I think this is the case, in probably every program. Somebody commits to you and they still have another year left of football to play or 2 years left of football, you know full well that word commit doesn't really mean commit. Casey says shopping is more like it. That's kind of what it is. Maybe don't commit to the first offer you get. And I'm sure this kid got a lot better over the course of those 2 years. Maybe you get your first offer as a sophomore. Maybe you just jump right at it. But then more offers come in, and it just gets more attractive each place you go. I mean, you're going from Louisville to Syracuse to Florida State to Ole Miss back to Florida State. Just you think of Ole Miss too, because the day he committed to them was the day he commits from Florida. Somebody threw a bag at him. You think that's what it's about? Or did the Florida State bag now have a little bit more weight to it than the Ole Miss bag?
I don't know if they're getting bags just to commit than to decommit. Maybe
that's what happened with Underwood, the kid at Michigan.
Yeah, maybe there's a promise of a certain amount once you get on campus, and maybe they are getting money just to commit. But be kind of tough to give a kid some money to commit, and then he decommits and gets to keep the money.
You better have the money. You better have the money when you get to campus. Maybe keep it under wraps until you make it through your first spring ball. Because that's what they're doing, right? You're showing up on campus in January. That's what he'll probably do. Show up on campus in January.
Enter the first portal.
And then, you get a chance to enter the first portal right after spring ball concludes. I think there were a couple of Arkansas kids that did it. Madden Iamaleava, remember, quarterback? He was at Arkansas for a hot minute. What exactly is a hot minute? 3 months? Is that about right? Sounds like it. For college football, 3 months would be a very hot minute. And that's all it is. Rooting for the Brewers today. The Brewers and the Reds at 6:40. Milwaukee going for their 13th win in a row. And the burger joint George Webb, well, they're ready to give away over 100,000 burgers next Wednesday. Wednesday is when they're going to do it. And they have ordered 25,000 pounds of meat to give away what they're expecting to be over 100,000 burgers. It's about $8 a burger for George Webb, so this is going to cost them a pretty penny. But I'm sure they're getting plenty of publicity, too, that's going to keep people coming back. The giveaway is next Wednesday between the hours of 2 and 6. And any of you that are listening right now, you can get up to Wisconsin, too, and do this if you're that hard up for a free cheeseburger, because it's not like they're asking for people to show their ticket to the game. This is just free burgers for anybody who wants them. I could eat a free burger, even if I'm not feeling well. It's a free burger. I know Ty Richardson would eat a free burger at the drop of a hat.
Always, Phil. Come on now.
The best food is free food, isn't it?
No question. If it's free, it's for me, especially in radio.
Well, it's going to be free for all those people in Wisconsin. I'm sure there's going to be folks driving in from Illinois to get a free burger as well. 25,000 pounds of meat, over 100,000 burgers, and then watch them lose tonight against the Reds after all this celebrating of a burger giveaway. And apparently there may be a burger joint in the state of Arkansas that's interested in doing this at some point. Somebody called our Lewis Automotive Hotline, so we got a phone call to make later on once the show concludes, which, by the way, the show concludes in just a moment. First, got to remind you about Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. It's where action meets comfort. Roback features beautiful fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com. Still getting out on the golf course? Do you have Roback's Delta pants and shorts? They're a clean, comfortable, premium fabric. Going to look great on or off the golf course. It's Roback.com. And enter the code RUSH25 at checkout to get 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort. Back in a moment, we'll wrap up the week on Halftime.
I've been called the songbird of my generation by people who've heard me.
This is Halftime.
See dealer for details. Buckle up, folks. Road Chevrolet is bringing the sizzle this summer with the Heat is On event. For the next 30 scorching seconds, let me tell you why you can't miss this. How about 0% financing on select new Chevys for well-qualified buyers? Our inventory is on fire, but these deals won't last forever. Need financing? Our team's ready to work faster than you can say Heat wait. Plus, trade-in values are at their peak. Race to Road Chevrolet where the heat is on. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best, hottest prices, period.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Stuart Mandel of The Athletic on Twitter reminding us of something Jim Harbaugh said after the national championship at the post-game press conference. The question was, what does it mean to be a Michigan man? And part of the answer was, you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal. I remember when he said that too. And it was months after Stallions had already been fired. You've already won your championship, and it's just an interesting place to take the question, because it wasn't a question about Stallions or cheating or anything like that. It's just the words Harbaugh thought of what it means to be a Michigan man. There's not a lot of people that are thinking about it that way at this very moment. But I remember that answer, Matt, and it kind of made me roll my eyes and laugh a little bit when he said it.
Well, nobody even associates Jim Harbaugh with this. That's the weirdest thing about it. The head coach, it's more the coach now that's there, and it's Connor Stallions. It's nobody really, for however his publicist is or his lawyer, he's done a great job of kind of just hiding in the shadows.
I guess going to the NFL can do that for you. You know, and there isn't a thing that the NCAA can do that can limit Harbaugh's ability to make a living and be a football coach. It was the same thing with Pete Carroll at USC. You know, left right after the national title, and full well understood that there was probably going to be some sanctions on the program and on him. But back then, you know, there might have been a postseason ban. Who knows? Although here's part of this too. Maybe the idea of the postseason or the lack of a postseason ban has to do with the brand that you're dealing with. If this is a MAC school, nobody's going to care if you ban them from the postseason, because not many of them make it anyway. But if it's Michigan or USC or Texas or Alabama or Ohio State, you know, those programs that are known to be the biggest bullies on the block, they're never going to do anything that takes them out of the postseason, because you know what that'll do is that'll depress the ratings for ESPN and bowl season. They just do not want to do that. Good luck today to John Daly II after 2 wins yesterday. He's got the quarterfinals in the U.S. Amateur Open in San Francisco. He'll be playing against UGA commit Mason Howell. It's a 4 o'clock Central Time tee-off, and you can watch it on Peacock. So that he's one of the last 8 remaining in the U.S. Amateur Open. It's the farthest any Razorback golfer has ever gone. So I'm waiting for the next big star in professional sports for Arkansas. Matt thinks it'll be Landon Jackson, and Landon will get a chance to do it before Daly turns pro. But watch out for John Daly II, right? Seems like he may. Hey, his father never played in the U.S. Amateur Open, so it's not like you're really trying to compare him to Dad. But you compete like this in the amateurs, you may end up getting to the same place Dad was too.
Well, if his superpower is putting, I think that's what Clay Henry said, Fisherman Clay.
Yeah, he said the reason that he did so well was his putting.
Then he's going to make a lot of money. If that's your superpower is putting, man, that's because they can all hit it. What did Lee Westwood say? He said if he go back and be 19 years old again, he would only practice shots 100 yards and in. That's the only part of his game he would work on because that's where you make the money.
I think if I was 19 years old again, Matt, I would go to class. That's the change I would make. Might have kept me at Indiana a little bit longer. Then again, if I went to class then, who knows what kind of awful stuff I'd be into today. Because life's pretty good, isn't it? I think it is.
Yeah, man, I can't complain.
No complaints at all because that's a Friday and the weekend has started now. Great week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Ruskin and Zach will take you into your weekend over the next 4 hours, and the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast can also be a part of it. Download it anywhere you download your podcasts. Thanks to Kristen Johnston, Ty Richardson all week long. Ty, always good to be back with you. Appreciate that.
Of course, buddy.
And for Matt Jones and everybody else with Halftime, I'm Phil Elson. Have a great weekend. Get up, get out, and get better.